What's this?
It's an art project.
Okay, I like it. Picasso. Yeah, that way.
What's happening, YouTube? Kenny back with another how-to video, and today we're gonna be coloring the carpet logos. Now, this video is gonna be all-inclusive, yes sir, which means we're gonna be covering everything coloring carpet logo has to offer. This video is gonna be for anyone, whether you got some old vintage carpets that you want to look brand new, whether you got some used ones off offer, whether you have brand new carpets and maybe you got a little stain, something that won't get out. Maybe you're like the artsy DIY type car guy and you like to do everything fancy and custom, respect. Or whether if you just want to color in a little piece of your logo or any type of fabric in your car. We're going to be going over all that in this video. Start from the lowest problem going up. Now there's a lot of information to put in this video. People are doing things for different things and we'll be trying different things to use. Because not everyone wants the same outcome or even has the same thing to begin with. So I'm going to be making sure I cover everything in this video. Today we're going to be working on these 350Z carpets. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you see we got these at a part out. These Z carpets were just recently cleaned during a product review video. Link to that be on the top right corner. Now we're going to continue the video with the assumption that you already tried to clean the logos. If not, some water and some Dawn soap and a soft bristle brush. If you do not use a soft bristle brush, you have a potential to damage the threads. You can see we have some damage on the stitching right here. Also, when you brush with the threads, not against, because you will have the potential to damage the threads. Anyone for some vintage slash old slash used carpets and want to get a little bit of a restoration, more of a brighter color, I recommend these Tide stain remover sticks. These things work amazing and they do a good job of whitening up the logos a little bit more. If after using some Dawn soap and warm water didn't work and maybe you got a little bit of a stain, maybe it's coffee so you still see the outer ring, try the stain remover stick. This is actually a time lapse of me using the Tide stick on an extra Z carpet I use for oil changes and whatnot. I fluffed this one up because I wanted to see how the Tide stick would do without washing it first. So you see whatever oil and grease was under the logo is starting to come up now. This is the final result. My bad. After you use a Tide stick and it didn't work and you still see a stain, throw that out and you're gonna need a color in the logo. Now lucky for you guys, I got options. When you go on Amazon and you look up fabric markers, a lot of times you're gonna get one of these looking guys. You can see it's actually for fabric. Now the problem with these pens is that they're oil-based pens. And oil-based paint is very thick and does not soak into the fabric very well. Something like this is a chalk marker or glass marker. Can be used for different things. I got this one at Michael's Arts and Crafts store. It came in a pack. Now the results of these pens are very different. Which pen is going to work for you is based off what you're trying to accomplish. For right now, let's stick with this one. Now this is going to be for anyone that wants to achieve the most natural look possible. Maybe you got some fancy nice carpets, you already tried the Dawn soap, you already tried the Tide stick, but it's still not looking as bright as it used to look. Or maybe you got some BMW carpets and you just want to change the blue, but you want everything to look uniform and the same like it came out the factory like that. This is when you're going to want to use this marker. We're trying to dye the stitching instead of painting over it. After everything's said and done, we still want to be able to see the individual stitching so it still looks embroidered and not like a patch as it would if it was the oil-based pen. Let's switch carpets to one I've already started demoing. This is the passenger carpet. Now we tested both these markers out, so let's see how they came out. Okay, let's take a look at the logo. All the middle has not been touched by anything. The only thing I used was a black Sharpie, a fine point for the dots in the middle. Now our chalk marker, you can see, did this. Our oil base did this right here. Okay, now I don't want you guys judging on how crappy it looks, right? Because everything can be fixed with a Sharpie right at the end. I used a blue Sharpie just to show you guys how well a Sharpie comes out on an oil base. But right here on the left side, we're gonna continue with the water-based marker and we're gonna go with the stitching. And that's all we're doing, is just going with the stitching. Try not to focus on the same spot because you see it starts to clump up a little bit. All the black parts, don't even worry about it. Everything along the outside can be fixed. You can make any unwanted spots black again. It's best to do this at the end though. Yeah, I think my white mark is just fucked up, guys. It might be dried up on the inside. Because look how well the blue came out. You can see what I was saying, but you were able to see the individual stitching, like almost a dye almost. As opposed to the oil base, you can barely see the threads. Like, but yeah, it's more durable, you know? But it does not look OEM and it does not look embroidered at all anymore. You can play with it a little bit, you know, just Not too much, not too much. Really let the ink do all the work. You're just kind of brushing it along. See, even if we try to go over something black, you can see the black just really isn't taking it because this isn't really meant for that. Let's try using some red. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me go ahead and change the lighting real quick. Alright, my bad. I was messing it up because I wanted to see how well it came off with the Q-tip. But yeah, my red marker worked out beautifully. You can see how beautiful the colors look. So there's definitely probably something wrong with my white marker. You guys might get better results with the white. And the reason why my dark colors are looking so good is because there's white stitching already on there. It's a perfect canvas. Some of you might not be working on perfect ones. Like if you color in stitching, these thin paint markers probably isn't going to do the job. That's when this boy comes in. Get yourself an oil-based marker. For the rest of the video, we're going to be using an oil-based marker, and we're going to color in both Z logos. Now, I don't want to keep the dots, but just to make it a little challenging for myself and for video purposes, we're going to go ahead and keep the dots. Now, why I love oil-based is because it's such a rich, bright color. It also creates a little layer on top which makes it more durable, but also for Sharpies. Look how nice that color looks. Also, you can get whatever color you want in oil-based pens, but if you want more an exact color, you can just do a white base like we're about to do, and then use whatever color Sharpie you want. Some tips about this oil base: shake well. Make sure you always shake with the cap on. Even when you're using it, make sure you put the cap back on because it will splatter. And then you'll get marks like that on the side, which I'll show you how to clean these up. Just with Sharpie, but oil based, it makes it sticky and a little solid. So we definitely don't want it clumping like that. Get you some alcohol and a Q-tip. And we're just gonna try to clean it up, separating the hairs, trying to get as much paint as we can off. Now you can see what a good job that already did. Now just make sure it's super dry. Get your Sharpie, and for anything left, just get a little bit and rub it in. That way the ink isn't so dark on that one spot. And there you go. Never even knew it was there. Also, when you open up the pen, just turn around, have your back against your project, and then pop it open because it will splatter. Alright, we're going to do a time lapse of me coloring in this bad boy white. Like I said, we have the black Sharpie on standby, so you don't have to worry about getting on the edges. But you do want to be a little careful. See, I'm being careful, going with the threads. Oh, I fucked up right there. Oh, this is going to be a good test for this color that I think is still probably wet. I'm probably going to have to put another coat on top, which isn't a big deal. For the black dot in the middle, every time we cover it up, I want to keep track of it. Also the size of it, I don't want it to get smaller, so we're just going to keep painting over it. Alright, let's do a time lapse. Yours definitely can't have as much stains as mine. But no problem, all you gotta do is go over it a few more times after it's dry. Mine's still pretty tacky, and we're still going over it. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you that this is probably gonna look awful because of all the testing of other markers I did on it. But we'll wait to see how it comes out. Let's go ahead and do the driver's side. You can see this one has some damages from cleaning. Let's see how good of results we get. Time lapse, let's get it. Alright, let's get a second coat. And that's why we don't shake without the cap on. Fuck. Why is this shit coming out crazy now? Not looking too good. Let's see if we can fix this. Right now, since I put too much paint, I'm making sure I only go in one direction. That way I'm combing the threads to sit down in only one direction. I don't want them to pick up anymore. That way it doesn't look all crazy. Are we looking, boys, a little better? I know it looks a little messy, but wait, we haven't even put the Sharpie. Quick tip, don't ever put Sharpie when the paint is wet. The ink from the Sharpie will mix with the ink from the paint and it'll create a real dark color and it'll look nasty. We're gonna wait for this to dry and then we'll touch it up. Alright, after drying for about 15 minutes, they're looking pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and apply our black Sharpie to the outer stitching. Now, it's real important, one, that you're not doing this while the paint is wet. And two, that you don't press down where you want ink. Let the ink absorb into the fabric. First, we're going to take care of these edges. And we're just going to brush our Sharpie around the sides. Alright, now for the stitching. Now let's get you a nice close-up of the stitching. Still fixing this outer part, but we're also touching the stitching now. And we're just gonna run it across. You can see that I'm being very careful not to get too close to the edge. Just letting the ink bleed into the stitching. Almost done with the entire Z, and I just want to show you that you can actually see where I haven't done the stitching. You can see the black color difference. You can see it's just that little section right there. I want to show you guys how I'm gonna do the dots. I don't know how well this is gonna come out, so let's just hope for the best. That one came out all right. And I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now this is the passenger side, the one that we colored in with the blue and the red and stuff like that. And you can see with the second coat of paint, it really did a good job. And you can see what I was talking about, what happens when you use the Sharpie and the paint isn't dry. You see what kind of color it changes to right there. You can also see it right there, and you can see a little bit on those dots right there. So let's see what a difference of redoing the stitching all over again and see what it does.
All right.
Alright, what y'all think? This is the passenger side. Looks fucking beautiful. The passenger side is the only one that had 3 coats. Look at the driver's side. Kinda fucked up. Only 2 coats and you can definitely tell. Hold on. You see that? You can really see the individual hair sticking out, and I didn't flatten it with that second coat. That second coat would have really done it good. Also, the edges are really not the best. You can see the edges, not too good. They could have been more crispier, like kind of this one. That one looks a little better. See what I'm talking about? That the threads are all kind of flattened down. But other than that, I say it's a pretty damn good job. They definitely stand out way, way more compared to this guy. This is the one I try to get out with the Tide stick. So that's kind of how it looks. Bruh. Crazy difference. Alright, but that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. Again, I know someone's about to type in the comments,
bro, just buy some new carpets, like 50 bucks.
Yeah, obviously this video wasn't for you. This is really for those DIYers, man. Me personally, not discriminating anybody's car build. I respect the DIY, the custom build 10 times more than any other car. And a little attention to details like this, like when you're trying to match a whole car theme, like maybe your whole car theme is green or something, and you step in the car and he has some OEM matte, but it's green, like damn, and it matches the color. I'll be like, damn, okay. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope it didn't go on for too long, but I just really wanted to show you guys the process. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.
I'm like the narco, got dope like Pablo, cut throat like Pablo, chop trees with the Draco, on the north got Diego, say hasta luego, we'll be in rapping kilo, snub nose with potato. Take out. No monkey in the jungle, blah, like a sono. Busting nothing, I'm trying to